So by now, I am sure you guys would have heard about GameStop shares, AMC shares, Nokia, and a few others, and you would have seen how crazy things can actually get when millions of people join in and rally on the exact same thing. Some people have literally made over tens of millions of dollars as a result of this. As you can see in this screenshot, this is from a Redditor called Deep Effing Value, and this person was buying GameStop stock over a year ago. He started with 50k initially and just kept buying. And the hype and the gains caused everyone else to join in. But in this video, we're going to discuss what might actually happen with Wall Street bets as a community, because these retail investors are essentially messing with the big dogs of Wall Street, which are the big hedge fund managers. And historically speaking, these fund managers have essentially controlled the market. We're going to explore some repercussions for Wall Street bets as a community, and censorship, and some double standards that unfortunately exist as well. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Fyzee. On this channel, we look at personal finance, and today we are exploring the case for Wall Street bets. As always, this is not financial advice. We are looking at things from a general perspective only, and these are just my limited thoughts on the issue. So guys, as I mentioned earlier, historically speaking and based on whatever source that you look at, retail trading accounts for a very small proportion of the overall trading that happens in the US market. The large transactions are almost always done by institutional investors, and they actually have quite a lot of power when it comes to trades. And retail investors, namely from Wall Street bets, were the little people on the sidelines, basically quietly gambling away their money on stocks, penny stocks, and recently spending their stimmies, which are apparently stimulus checks, on penny stocks and on companies like that. Now, I would argue that before, big firms on Wall Street didn't actually care about these tiny little retail investors, because if we look at these huge hedge funds, they've got an army of quants, traders, and other analysts that literally analyze everything 24/7. So there is no way that an average Joe can compete with that level of knowledge. Well, that's what they thought. Now, because of this whole event, which was really unprecedented, all eyes are now on Wall Street bets as a result, and basically everyone from media outlets, these large hedge funds, even the regulators are now looking at these guys and basically thinking about how can they actually subdue this group and stop them from kind of spreading their mentality. So basically they want to stop these retail investors who have now just banded together and just formed an army. And this is where problems can occur, which personally I'm not a big fan of. And these big dogs are now calling for more regulation, and it seems that even the White House is also monitoring how things are going. Now, I do have a problem with this because hedge funds and other big institutional players have literally been doing this for so many years. This is not something which is new, and nobody has really said anything, or if they have said something, it isn't that huge and it's not really that prominent. Therefore, it's basically as if nobody has said anything. And these big funds have basically continued to do what they were doing before without any repercussions. In fact, as an example, if we examine the effects of the GFC and we examine the recklessness of the banks and other players, we will know that from the US, when the crisis actually happened, it seems that only one banker actually went to jail, and it was this guy. Now, when I was researching this, I found quite a lot of sources, multiple sources, which said that it could be this guy and a few other people as well. So I'll let you be the judge of whether or not it was one person that went to jail or a few others. But even then, a single person or a handful of people cannot be the only people responsible for the crisis. There's surely more people that actually caused it. So when the situation is flipped and the normal everyday person like you and me come out on top, which in this case it seems to be happening. I mean, just look at Melvin Capital's position. They were one of the best performing hedge funds for so many years, and now they are down 30% at the start of the year, and it's only January. And they've also gotten a $2.8 billion bailout as well. So when the retail investors screw over the big dogs, it is now suddenly just unacceptable, because it's supposed to be the other way around. How dare the little guy try and make some money in the same system? So it seems to me that there is a bit of a double standard going on here, and these are just my thoughts, guys, but what do you think about this? There seems to be all sorts of measures being undertaken and thought about. For example, TD Ameritrade and Schwab, which are pretty large brokerages in America, these are now restricting trades in these stocks, and you'll get this message when you try and use their system. The CEO of Nasdaq has also said that they will halt trading of shares if they see a lot of social media and stock trading activity if it is not backed up by proper fundamentals. Now for me, this is an issue because large funds already have trading algorithms, bots that trade for them, and a massive team behind them. Now these algorithms are already designed to pick up on stock activity and basically ride the wave and make profits. The only difference between them and retail investors is that the trading bot itself doesn't leave any social media chatter behind. So in both scenarios, whether it be the retail investor scenario or the hedge fund scenario, money is being made. Institutional investors are making money through their own systems and bots and analysts and traders, while the retail investors are making money through banding together on social media platforms like Reddit and other things as well. So if you restrict social media and target stocks that are only being spoken about on social media where the retail investors are, you're basically restricting these guys to stop them from reaping the profits and letting the institutional investor benefit on the other hand, which is obviously not fair, and this is the way that I'm thinking about it, but let me know what your thoughts are on this. Now you've got the other issue of these large Wall Street players literally complaining to regulators to have stricter restrictions in place for this sort of stuff to not happen again, because obviously they're now feeling the burn because the retail people have beat them at their own game. By the way, if you guys have time, go on YouTube and look up the CNBC interview with Chamath Palihapitiya because he explains it a lot better than I could. I just want to quickly look at what happens moving forward because Wall Street Bets was banned from Discord for promoting hate speech, but at the time of recording this video, their Discord seems to be restored now, which begs the question, could this be the start of censorship moving forward? Because communities or people being kicked off of social media platforms isn't something that's really new. It's happened before on Twitter and YouTube, and it's definitely something that needs to be talked about. I do think that if they were to get removed from Discord or any other platform, they can just find a new one, or if they keep on getting removed, they can just create their own from scratch. So at the time of recording, they have around 4.5 million users, and if each of them pledged just 50 cents per month, they can easily have enough funding to make a new platform, so censorship is not really the way to go. Now, what do you guys think the solution could be? Lastly, I want to go into what the financial landscape looks like moving forward, since these Redditors are specifically targeting companies that have been heavily shorted. Now, hedge funds who publicly release their data on who they've shorted and just show their positions are now at risk because it makes them a target for this subreddit. So I think moving forward, these hedge funds are going to have to be much more quieter about who they're shorting to basically not catch the attention of Wall Street Bets. I think that what's been done cannot be undone. And additionally, it seems that these big players are also monitoring and developing programs to keep a close eye on Wall Street Bets as well and see what they are buying just to be safe. Or it can even go the other way where it may seem like a sneaky partnership or even collusion between the big hedge funds and the retail investors of Wall Street Bets, where basically they all band together and pump up a stock, which would almost certainly be illegal, but it could happen even if these two parties don't do it as a group. So basically the situation is fast developing, so I just wanted to get my 2 cents in, of course. And I just want to say that regulating this is going to be quite hard. You simply cannot just slap a fine onto anyone who bought a call option on AMC or GME, because it simply just cannot work like that. You can't just place a blanket fine on everyone else. And the solution isn't really silencing the community of Wall Street Bets as well. There needs to be a middle ground, because even if you hate Wall Street Bets, these guys represent the average Joe out there, and they represent millions of retail investors. Even though a lot of these people might be gamblers, these are still everyday people. And they have a right to purchase stock just as much as any other hedge fund does. And I just want to know your thoughts on the issue as well. So let me know, do you guys side with Wall Street Bets or the hedge funds? Do you think Wall Street Bets should be banned? Do you think brokerages should not allow trading in these overhyped stocks? Do you think a trading halt should happen? Let me know in the comments. As always guys, please like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. I make regular videos and I'll see you in the next one. And they have a